Hello, everyone, and welcome to Think in Color. Thank you so much for joining us for this session today. I'm so excited that you're here. The session you're tuning into today is Scale with the Sky in Mind, How to Form Brand Partnerships That Last. I'm so excited to welcome Vanessa Terry, the founder of Notary to Notary, who's going to be leading this session. Vanessa is going to guide us through how to create and maintain mutual partnerships for your brand, as they are an essential avenue for increasing your revenue and reach. You will learn what brand partnerships are, how they work, how to secure partnership deals, and ultimately discover how these partnerships will assist in the scaling of your business. Without further ado, I would love to pass it over to Vanessa to introduce herself and take it away.
Hey guys, it's Vanessa Terry here, and I am super excited to be a part of Thinkific's Think in Color 2022. This is awesome, and it's really humbling because I started off using Thinkific about 3 years ago as a course creator, and now I'm actually presenting on one of their conferences, and it's like super cool. So I was like, okay, I'm bringing it in. Okay, all right, so I'm going to be teaching you guys about brand partnerships. Okay, so we're going to be talking about scaling your business with the sky in mind through brand partnerships. Before we do that, I want to give you guys a little bit more information about me and what my course in brand does, so you can see like how I kind of got started and how I use brand partnerships to grow and to scale my brand to what it is today. So you guys know my name is Vanessa Terry, and I am all things notary. I am the founder of Notary to Notary, the notary training company, On Time Notary, the notary dispatch service, and then I notarize an e-notary platform. So I'm all things notary, just kind of kept expanding as we went along. And I got started with Notary to Notary, the first company, in 2019. And I started using Thinkific to build the courses, and over time it just grew and grew and grew to this major brand. Definitely leveraged some brand partnerships along the way to help me build a little faster, such as the NNA, the National Notary Association, is one of the brands we partnered with in the very beginning to help us to grow and to scale our brands, okay? And now I'm a first-time entrepreneur, which means that I had no back knowledge of anything. So I like kind of self-taught myself everything through like Google or online courses and things like that. And one thing that I learned when I think about what helped me get from no students to thousands of students was brand partnerships. Of course, there's other things too, like having quality content, super duper important. You know, not only you don't want to just bring people in, you want to make sure when they get there they like what they eat, right? You want to have good food for them, so you want to have quality content. But brand partnerships definitely allowed me to leverage other people's time, work, effort, audience for my gain. And so I talk about leveraging a lot on my brand. We talk about like leveraging other people's money with like business credit to build your brand, but also you can leverage other people's time, work, and effort to build your brand through brand partnerships. Okay, so we're going to talk about that more in detail. And if you want to find me, you can definitely find me at notarytonotary.com, at Notary to Notary on all social media platforms, and email info@notarytonotary.com. But let's get into it. Okay, so one of my favorite teachers ever is Grant Cardone. And one of his popular quotes that I live by is that the number one reason that businesses fail is because of obscurity. So basically, no one knows who you are. And that does play a part with marketing, but you want to also work on your brand partnerships, because let's say, you know, you start a course, right? And you have an Instagram or you have a YouTube, and we all start there with that 1 or 2 followers, right? You might have like you and your sister that's following your channel, your subscribers. But over time, you're going to get more, but it grows, you know, at a slow pace, typically standard. But if you're able to get someone else that has a large following who did all that work, who can then connect with you and say, oh, you know, I love her brand, or she's awesome, you know, course creator, whatever the case is. Now, instead of you trying to work your small network and grow your audience, you piggybacked off of their hard work and effort that they had been building for months or years, and now you have your brand in front of all of their audience, who now will come to you. And so it basically cuts that time in half that it takes to build a brand by yourself. Can you build it by yourself? Absolutely. Should you? No. Okay? Just because, you want to kind of cut that time in half. And you can do that very simply with brand partnerships. Okay? So we're going to talk about building brand partnerships for your online course specifically. Okay? So you want to determine first, when you're looking for a brand partner, you want to determine who is my ideal partner. Because not everybody is your partner, okay? You want to be picky. This is the time for you to be picky, okay? It's like dating. You don't want to date everybody. You want to be picky when you pick somebody to be your brand partner, because not everyone is your friend. Everyone is not going to be the perfect fit for you, okay? That's one mistake that I made a little bit in the beginning. I didn't do it as much as I could have, because I did a lot of research that showed me, like, okay, just don't partner with anybody. But a lot of small beginning creators will just partner with anyone, just collect the money, because they're trying to keep the lights on, right? So they're like, oh, we don't really have the same audience, same interest, but they're going to pay me $500. So hey, why not? Come on, let's go, right? Don't do that. I know it's tempting to do that, but what happens when you do that is you water down your brand, one, and the next thing I was talking about was your audience. So does your audience align, right? So if you just bring someone on just to collect a check and you guys have different audiences, it's not going to work. It's gonna be a waste of time. You got your $500, but it's not gonna help you build your brand, and you're gonna lose your audience's trust. Okay, so when you're building a brand, a course, right? Typically, it's something that you've done for a while. You are, accredited or a credible teacher in it. And so when you build a brand or an audience, it's literally like building a family. That's what I call it, building a family. And you want them to trust you. And for them to trust you, you have to add value to them. You can't just bring anything and anyone that comes past your way because they're going to pay you, because then your audience is not stupid. They're going to pick up on it. And they're going to say, oh, she's just trying to make, she's just an affiliate link. She just trying to make money. She don't even like this. You know what I mean? And it's going to hurt your brand more than help your brand. So what you want to do is you want to find partners that have values and audiences that align with you. So for example, I frequently get emails from different like gaming kind of communities, gamers. Who else do I get like all the time? It's typically or crypto, or just different industries, but they don't really align with what I'm teaching, and it really wouldn't make sense. I'd have to be really creative about how I'm going to bring this gamer and this gaming platform onto my platform. Like, it makes no sense. Like, Notary and video gaming doesn't really go together. Like, it's kind of like, what are we doing here? And so your audience is going to know, like, they're going to tell. They're like, why are you bringing gamers here? I don't understand, right? And then they're going to lose trust. They're going to lose value in you. And then you're wasting your time, right? So you might think, let's say you're doing something where it's like, okay, I want to partner with this brand, and they're not giving me money, but they're going to project my product to their audience, right? But their audience is video gamers. Okay, so for example, my audience at Notary to Notary is typically 35 to 65 years old, okay? And so and women at that. Not all of them game, okay? They're not all video gamers, okay? So if I say, hey, let's do a brand partnership, and I say, put my brand in front of your audience, is it possible I can make sales? Maybe. But it's highly unlikely that the majority of their audience is going to want to be notaries, right? So it's like kind of like setting up a Google ad and not targeting it. It's just like, oh, it's just there. It's a waste of money. Okay, if you don't target your ads, it's a waste of money. So same thing with brand partnerships. If I'm not targeting my partnership, I'm wasting my time and my money. So I want to make sure that the brand that I pick, their audience is a potential audience of mine, so they kind of fit what I typically see in my audience. It makes more sense, and we're not wasting each other's time. Okay, I know it's tempting to take $500, $1,000, $5,000 from these companies just to say, oh, I made a TikTok video or a YouTube video for you, and then you make one for me. But if you guys don't have similar audiences, if you guys don't have similar values, which is another thing we're going to talk about, it's not going to work, and it could potentially hurt you more than help you. The other thing is values, okay? Now, they may have, and I know this personally, they may have the products you have, the services you have, they may be in your industry, and they may have your audience. But if your values don't align, it's still going to be a bad fit, right? That's like dating a guy that's handsome, right? But his values are horrible compared to yours. It's still not gonna work, right? And you want to protect. I call it protecting your brand. Okay, you don't want to have some. In every industry, you have people that are a little, they don't quite fit with what you're doing. And so even though you're in the same industry, if you bring someone into your family, your audience, and their values are completely different from yours, let's say for example, I don't know, bring somebody in and they curse a lot, and your brand, they don't do that, they don't like that, they are offended by that, or they have really vulgar language and your audience doesn't like that. Now you don't have the same values, or maybe they make something else offensive, that they believe in but your audience doesn't, right? So now, yes, they're in the same industry, but you don't have the same values. It's not going to work, and so it's still not a good fit. So you want to make sure they have a good, a matching audience or close to matching audience. The values are pretty similar. And then you want to determine your value. And this is something that's kind of tricky because it just is. So you want to figure out where you are on the totem pole. So are you a small fish, a medium fish, or a big fish? Okay. As a small fish, as a new creator, as a new course creator, or social media person, whatever that is, you want to get a big fish to endorse you, right? So you want a big fish that's going to come and say, hey, we love your brand, or we love this product, you guys should try this out. So you want to try to shoot up the totem pole, not down the totem pole. Okay, so you want to get brands that are bigger than you that can add value. Now, there's nothing wrong with partnering with smaller brands so you can add value to them. That's okay. But you want to also make sure that you're getting brands that will add value to you and move you up the totem pole. Okay, so be picky when you're thinking about who you want to have as your brand partners. Okay, next thing is, where do you find brand partners? Oh, actually, let's rewind. The next thing is, you want to set your desired outcomes and expectations. So what are you hoping to gain from this? Okay, so what is the end goal? What do you want? So you don't, like, for me partnering with these gaming companies, that's not helping me. My outcome might be I want more followers. But if I'm not talking about video games, why are they going to follow me? So now I just wasted my time. So typically as a course creator, the goals that you're going to want to set are, make more sales on your courses, like sell more courses. You may want to get more followers or subscribers on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, things like that. And so you want to set goals. So what is my plan? And there are certain partners that when I think about working with them, it is to make more sales. But sometimes, like, with this partner, I think I could really use them to get more followers. And so you want to figure out what you want the partnership to do. Sometimes just you want to add more credibility to your brand, so that way, you can sell more courses, or, get a higher reach, or things like that, or just to build more credibility in general. That'll make you look more established and accredited in your industry. So you want to make sure you're setting those goals that you need before you actually start the brand partnership. So you want to set your goals, and then you want to determine, what do you want your partner to do? So what do you want them to do specifically? Now, that's when I mess up a lot with in the beginning. I didn't be really, really clear. And so I would just say, hey, let's work together. I like your brand, you like my brand, let's promote each other. And it would be, a video here, email there, a post here, but it wasn't planned. And so when you don't plan and set actual action steps for each brand, you may see one side, doing a whole lot, and the other one not doing anything. If they're just like, let's promote each other. But let's say it's one where you're like, okay, I'm going to give you $500 for you to promote my brand. But you don't say how. They may do one video and a social media post. That's it. But maybe you wanted them to do an email, like, do one email once a week, do a social media post like 2-3 times a week, do a TikTok, 2 or 3 times a week. Whatever that brand partnership is going to be, you want to be extremely clear as far as what you want that brand to do for you. And also, what are you going to do for that brand? If it's not as simple as an exchange of money, but it's more like a let's support each other, let's, I promote your brand, you promote my brand. Especially with those, you want to make sure you're really clear on what that is for both sides, so it's not confusing. And one party is like, oh, I thought you were gonna do this, I thought you were gonna do that. No, we're gonna make it really clear, and we're gonna get it in writing. That's something that I wasn't that far along without doing it, but I had a couple that I did not actually do in writing. But now I always make sure that I have it in writing so that way there's no confusion. So it's very clear goals. Everyone knows what to expect. Okay, so now that you know how to interact with the partner, let's talk about where you find brand partnerships. Where do you find these partners at? So of course, social media is the king of all things right now. So social media is a great way to find partners. Before you actually go look for partners, though, I want to give you this extra tip. Try to find partners that already exist in your industry. So when you're teaching your course, when you're talking about whatever that is, what are you already talking about? What products or what services are you already talking about? Are you talking about, a certain supplier, let's say a certain product that your students have to use to do whatever you're teaching? Like, let's say that it's funny, I actually saw a course not too long ago about that she was teaching how to massage your dog, right? So maybe one of her partners could be like massage oil, so don't necessarily think that you have to partner with one of your competitors, right? Let's say there's 5 dog massagers that are teaching online courses. You don't have to partner with that. Let's say I'm going to go out to the oil provider, the person who I buy my oil from, and I'm going to partner with this large dog oil company who's going to endorse my product and talk about it, my course, and things like that. So you can think about the products and services that you already offer and that you're talking about that they're going to use anyway, and think about partnering with them. So like, let's say for the notary industry, I may talk about partnering with business insurance companies. We talk about that a lot, or printers, or we partner with notary supply companies. We partner with notary insurance companies, things like that, because I'm already talking about it. I'm already saying, hey guys, get notary insurance and get with my partner, whatever the companies I'm partnering with. And that way I'm not trying to like break my mind trying to say, who can I partner with? Go through your course. Who are you already talking about? Those are your partners. Those are who you need to go get. And it makes more sense. And when you do that, it's going to flow so smooth, because you're going to say, you know what? It makes sense why you want to partner with me, because you're talking about me every day. You're talking about my product or service every day. Of course I want to partner with you, because you're already talking about what I sell, right? So it's going to make sense. Okay, so 1, social media, always a great way to get partners. You guys know this. Online researching is really good too. You can just go online, go to Google, and just type in whatever that product or service is and see what companies come up. I will say it can be a little bit more difficult to partner with major brands if you have like a smaller beginning course. So you may want to start off with finding like some of the smaller, maybe local or just not worldwide brands right as soon as you start. And I will tell you, when you get brand partnerships, the more you get, the more you're going to grow. The more your channel grows, the more your audience grows, the more users you get, the more those big fish are going to start to look at you anyway. But you have to start somewhere. So can you go right out the gate and go to Amazon? Of course. Would I recommend it? Probably not, but hey, shoot your shot. I would never tell you to do anything. I would recommend going with a smaller company first and getting them under your belt, and definitely working out those kinks. Like when I first started, I made a lot of mistakes. And so working it out with the smaller companies helped me get it right for the larger companies, okay? You can also find great partners socializing. So networking events, social events, professional events, going out, talking to people. And then when you talk to them, they're like, oh, this is my brand, this is my company. Like, hey, do you want to go on YouTube with me? Or do you want to do a video or, an email blast for your affiliate link, things like that? That's going to help you collaborate more. It's going to help you leverage their audience as well. So you can get brands just from going out and talking to people. I'm a huge fan of networking. I network like nobody's business, okay? Listen. Okay. Lastly, of course, they can find you. But be mindful, especially as soon as your course starts growing, people are going to be coming all in your DM and in your emails trying to get you to, promote their product on your platform, especially when you start getting more eyes on your platform. And you want to make sure, once again, their product aligns with what you are already doing. If it doesn't, don't do it, okay? Trust me, it might sound cool at first because you're going to collect a check $500, but if it doesn't line up, it's going to hurt your brand. Yes, you can cash that check. Yes, you can spend that check, but it's not going to bring you long-term success and help you scale your company. So look for partners that are going to add value to you. They're going to add value to your audience. When your audience loves you, your brand will grow. Yes, I love social media marketing, but I'm telling you, it's nothing like that word of mouth, okay? Word of mouth will never end. I think they both are really powerful, social media and word of mouth. I think when I buy something now, it's typically someone told me or I saw it on social media. Those two things are usually how I make my purchases now. Someone said, Vanessa, you got to do this, or I saw it on Instagram or TikTok. I'm like, oh, I want to try that. So it's those two things. And so you want to make sure that you really, really build trust with your audience, because they're the ones that are going to tell everybody, hey, do this or don't do this. So you want to leverage other people's time, work, and effort that they built to build those brands for your brand. Okay, so you're shortening that learning curve, the time it takes to really build that brand. You want to shorten that, and so you're going to shorten that by getting those brands to come to you. Okay, or you going out to them, and then you get in front of their audience, they get in front of your audience, and it's gonna add that credibility, and that's one way that you can, one goal you can set too. Sometimes it's not about followers, sometimes it's just about credibility. It's just, giving you more clout in that industry can be a goal that you set. And so if you get a heavy hitter, if you get a big fish that can endorse you, that gives you that credibility, and people, your audience, are going to love you more when they trust you. And credibility is a huge part of trust. Okay, so I hope that this short training that I did, because most of my trainings are really long and I can talk for forever, I hope this training helped you decide if you want to get into brand partnerships, but I hope that you do, but gave you some extra tips and tricks that you need when you're starting to look for brand partners. What to look for, what not to look for, what should I do, what shouldn't I do, type thing. And definitely, I hope I encouraged you to leverage brands to build your brand. As a course creator, we know everybody has courses out there now, so it can be a little bit more challenging to break into, but I'm telling you, there's a market for almost anything you could possibly think of selling. So it's just about getting out there, making sure your product has value, okay? Marketing, and then add on that brand partnership on top, and you are good to go. You are solid, okay? All right, so let's open it up for some Q&A. I'm really, really excited to see what questions that you have for me and how I can help you guys build and scale your courses to get to where you want, whatever that target is. I'm really excited to help you do that. So what questions do you have for me?